more of the same won't fix general practice. That was the conclusion of a King's Fund analysis of the current state of general practice. So what will help? My new book, Medical Generalism Now, describes why, and most importantly how, advanced generalist medicine must be part of the solution. I explain how we need to change what we do and also the places in which we do that work. My book offers a blueprint for whole system change, moving from our current bureaucratic organisational structures focused on transactions to a decentralised network model focused on critical creative knowledge work. I explain why this isn't a return to past general practice, but a refreshed understanding of the vision and practice of whole person medical care. Changes that are necessary to manage the complexity of today's healthcare and to tackle the acute challenges that are discussed in the first of these talks. The book is in 3 parts. It starts with the principles of advanced generalist medicine, what it is and how we do it. Then, in the next 3 chapters, I describe real-world examples of using those principles to change professional practice, practice design, and policy on the ground. In the final section, I describe a blueprint for future general practice, considering how we can start to roll out advanced generalist medicine into everyday health services delivery. And I finish with a discussion with international colleagues on the implications of all of this for wider general and generalist practice around the world. So those first 2 chapters take a look at the principles and practice of advanced generalist medicine. My key purpose is to describe and defend whole person medicine, generalist practice, as a distinct scientific practice. Chapter 1 reminds us of the broader principles that shape, support and underpin person-centred care. There's 5. The purpose for generalist medicine is to create a whole person understanding of illness, in order to support the focus of care being on the individual that we care for. The goal of generalist medicine is to enhance health as a resource people use to live their daily lives, meaning that the work of generalist medicine is grounded in the knowledge work of creating, using and critiquing understanding of health in context. The 5th principle recognises the context needed to support this practice as a complex intervention, requiring a healthcare system designed to support that work. In the next chapter, I then focus on the science behind the knowledge work of advanced generalist medicine, the 4 E's of exploration, explanation, evaluation, and epistemological trustworthiness. Like evidence-based medicine, advanced generalist medicine has a hierarchy of knowledge or evidence, but one that's different to that used in specialist medicine. The 4 E's outline the inductive scientific principles which ensure that advanced generalist medicine is safe and effective, but also different to the idea of opinion-based medicine described by Sackett in the evidence-based medicine. In the next section of the book, I use case studies to describe, develop and critically discuss advanced generalist medicine in frontline practice. So I start with a chapter on patient-facing care and discuss 3 examples. I consider our work to develop and implement the flipped consultation, an advanced generalist medicine approach to managing mild to moderate distress presenting in general practice. I describe our quality improvement project to develop and deliver a concept of Goldilocks medicine, getting care just right, not too much and not too little. And then I take a detailed look at the generalist gatekeeper role that I discussed in the first of these talks. Each example focuses on the expert knowledge work in context needed to deliver whole person care. And each flags the importance of getting the context, the practice setting right if we're to be successful. So in the next chapter and the next section, I consider 3 examples of practice. The Bounce Back project for mental health needs, and both the PACT and Complex Needs projects, which focused on multimorbidity and treatment burden. Asking, how do we create the wise places we need to support advanced generalist practice? And so recognising that we need to rethink key elements of how we design practice. Things about access, goals of care, team working, and learning. Each of those elements are shaped by the organisational systems we work in. So next I go on to consider why and how we need to move on from a transactional-based bureaucratic structure to a decentralised network model that supports the critical, creative knowledge work of everyday advanced generalist practice. Again, I use 3 case studies to explore and critique those ideas. Catalyst is a system-level example of workforce development. Taylor takes a system-level look at workplace development. And United Generalism examines the system-level changes in healthcare policy that we need. In the final section of the book, I tackle the question posed to me so many times over the years I've been developing and discussing these ideas. The question of so what? How do we implement these ideas in real-world practice? In the UK, 90% of NHS work and the majority of advanced generalist medicine is being delivered in general practice. So that's my starting point, describing a blueprint for general practice reform. Then, in my final chapter, I'm joined by 6 international colleagues to discuss the relevance, applicability, and challenges of these ideas in Europe, Japan, America, and Australia. I hope you enjoy the conversation as much as I did having it. For me, it really brought home how much we all need advanced generalist medicine now, built into medical systems around the world to tackle a healthcare problem that is truly global. It's more than 30 years since Sackett started to describe a new principle for modern medicine, that of evidence-based medicine. In that time, those ideas have transformed everyday medical practice, and there have been many benefits, but also unintended consequences, with complex origins, but growing and harmful implications. So we still need evidence-based medicine and specialist healthcare, but we urgently need to rebalance healthcare through elevating the status, understanding and practice of advanced generalist medicine. Recognising that advanced generalist medicine is a distinct form of scientific medical practice, grounded in its own theory and practice, its clinical scholarship and wisdom, and dependent on the wisdom and input of many clinicians, patients, educators, researchers, managers, and policymakers. Together, we can build and implement this model of practice, just as Sackett and colleagues did with evidence-based medicine. Together, we can reclaim general practice.